That's what I'm talking about. Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
All right, okay, I think we're live. I think we can roll. You're just crazy, Tim Black. You're just crazy, Tim Black.
Coffee with Tim Black.
That's it, guys. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Welcome. How y'all feeling today? How you feeling today? How are you feeling doing? All right, guys, welcome to the Coffee with Tim Black show. Of course, I'm your man, Tim Black. Welcome. It is Friday, January 5th. And Happy New Year to anybody who's still, if this is your first time for us to reconnect since the new year, well, let me just say Happy New Year. Hope that you brought it in safely with family, or you partied your ass off, but you didn't go to jail and no one got hurt. So we hope those things are the case with you as it was with me. Very quiet New Year celebration, man. Just chilling with the family and being happy that everyone is healthy and indoors. So that's a great thing. We got a lot in store for you today. We got Jeff Sessions stabbing. He's really ruining the opportunity for legalization of marijuana. He's a son of a, but we'll get to that. Justice Department probes Clinton Foundation. Yeah, that's happening. And inside the book, Fire and Fury, the expose book, similar to Shattered for Clinton, that details things about Donald Trump's campaign, and we're going to get to that. But I'd like to start off with some breaking news, guys. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, people, party people, team, Tim Black Nation, Tim Nation, TB. I'm trying to come up with something for that. You know, TB Nation, I think that's what we're going to go with. Can we go with TB Nation? All right. Tim Black's Wolfpack, all the way around. Periscope, Facebook, YouTube. But I would like to start once again with something that I think is amazing. GOP senators request criminal investigation of the Trump dossier. That's right. GOP senators request investigation into the Trump dossier. Its author. Now, just to sort of like give some weight to this, the Trump dossier was what was used, right? It was part of what was used by investigators to get the FISA warrants. Now, the FISA warrants were what were used in order to track, surveil the Trump campaign in Trump Tower. This is almost the entire basis for why there is a Russian investigation. See, the Trump dossier, which we now know, ladies and gentlemen, we know was created, was a work for hire, bankrolled in part by the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton campaign, I should say, the Clinton campaign. Okay, so you pay these people to get this dirt on Donald Trump, to do what they call opposition research. Yes, these are Russians who were paid money, and for some strange reason, there is a big distinction between paying Russians and Russians just giving you stuff. For some reason,
look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
For some reason, that's a big deal. That's a big difference. I don't think when they talk about this stuff from the liberal media, and we're talking about MSNBC, CNN, other news broadcasts, CBS, ABC, pretty much all of them, they don't frame it that way. They don't frame it like we got one allegation that Trump was aided by Russians, you know, without him, you know, paying them, and they just gave this to him because they loved him so much. And on the other side, we have actually, factually, we know for a fact, no one's disputing that the Clinton campaign paid Russians to get information about Trump. Some of it, like, how do you verify that stuff? So anyway, here we go. GOP senators, they want to investigate the author of that dossier. 2 Republican senators are asking the Department of Justice to open a criminal investigation into Christopher Steele, the author of a controversial opposition research dossier on President Trump. Senators Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham sent a letter to Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and FBI Director Christopher Wray asking that they investigate if the former British intelligence agent lied to federal authorities. I don't take lightly making a referral for criminal investigation, but as I would with any credible evidence of a crime unearthed in the course of our investigations, I feel obliged to pass that information along to the Justice Department for appropriate review. Now, that is Senator Chuck Grassley there. Graham also said this. He said, after reviewing how Mr. Steele conducted himself in distributing information contained in the dossier and how many stop signs the DOJ ignored in the use of the dossier, I believe that a special counsel needs to review this matter. This letter is the first known criminal referral from any of the congressional investigations into Russia's election interference. I want to take a look at that statement again because I don't know about that statement. It says, the letter is the first known criminal referral from any of the congressional investigations into Russia's election interference. This is interesting. This is interesting. I mean, we are looking to get the facts, right? We are looking to get the truth. This is not a witch hunt. This is, did Russia impact our elections unfairly? Did Russia have something to do with the moves that Donald Trump made, with the messaging of the Trump campaign? Were they in collusion with the Russians? I think that's a fair question. And I think, and look, for the record for me, let me just make this clear. I have no horse in this race. Here on this show and on this TBTV, it's a small network. It's a small platform. It's a small platform. We know that, right? But as for what content I put out here, what we try to do, we don't care where truth leads us. We just want to follow the truth. If it's true that Donald Trump colluded with Russia, what does that mean? But define collusion. Okay, and if you define that collusion to be somehow treasonous, okay, fine. Bring that information, bring those charges, let us see what you got. I'm like Al Pacino in Heat. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. I want to see it. I have no interest in protecting criminals. That's right. No interest in protecting criminals. Okay? We're good? I hope we're good. and that's not what this channel is about. That's not the motive of this channel. Now, but what I am also not interested in doing, and hold on to your bra straps, I'm not interested in defending bogus investigations. Them either. I don't like them either.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my
I don't like those either. I'm not a fan of bogus investigations that cost millions of dollars that distract us from real life issues that should be addressed. So now back to this document. Back to this. Because this is so interesting. So interesting. It says here, as part of their request, the 2 senators passed along a memo tied to certain communications between Christopher Steele and multiple U.S. news outlets. They did not publicly release the memorandum, which is classified. The Justice Department isn't required to open an investigation in response to Grassley and Graham. In Grassley's office, in announcing this request, what the hell? Grassley's office, I hate Cortana. I thought I disabled Cortana. Okay. Grassley's office noted that it's standard for the committee to notify the Justice Department when it comes across what appears to be credible evidence of a criminal violation that warrants further investigation by appropriate authorities based on information from any source, public or non-public. Yeah. Now, this referral comes only days after the latest public back and forth between Grassley and Fusion GPS, the research firm that hired Steele to compile the controversial dossier. That's also important. Fusion GPS is who the Clinton Foundation paid. Fusion GPS paid Christopher Steele. They retained the services of Christopher Steele. Yes, they are the Clinton, I say foundation, I mean campaign. It's just because I'm going to be covering the foundation soon in this segment. It's just like 1 degree of separation. You got a middleman working between doing the dirt or what have you. The dossier itself is a very important issue. When you hear people talk about it, when you hear people in media, when I say media, I mean corporate media. Independent media pretty much gets it right. They give it the gravity that is required. A lot of times when I hear this conversation broached on corporate media, they are not giving the proper weight to the dossier. If the dossier is refuted, if it is found to be a hit piece, a piece contracted to destroy Donald Trump's candidacy and later his presidency, then this is a huge story. Did the Clinton campaign have the impetus to have fabricated information pushed into the Justice Department, pushed into the FBI, in hoping for the result of Donald Trump being outed, as Donald Trump failing his candidacy, Donald Trump failing as president? Is that the intention here? So this was all done under the Obama administration. This was sort of no, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. And just like the Russia investigation that I've been saying for months that I felt was full of a hot air, okay? But I have said, okay, I've come to the conclusion, as I stated, hey, let's see where this Russia investigation goes. Well, let's see where this dossier investigation goes. No one is above the law. I'm not above the law. You're not above the law. Us regular poor folks, we get hit all the time. We spend so much time in prison. It's amazing that we spend time anywhere else for us poor black folks, for us poor black folks. Yeah. So don't come to me about due process. Yeah, give them due process, but let's get the facts out there. That's what's needed. Anything else here that the people need to know about this? It just closes by saying the dossier has become a flashpoint in the Russia investigations, with Republicans questioning whether the document was the starting point for the FBI investigation of the Trump campaign. I believe it was. I believe it was used as ammunition to justify this Russia investigation totally. And if that dossier was created merely as a smear document, we already know Christopher Steele. We already know that this has, it has Russia's fingerprints all over it. No one's even denying that. No one denies it. Now they're saying that the dossier had no effect on the FISA warrant, which is what they used to tap the phones, guys. I hope I was making that clear. I hope I made that clear. I hope I did. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to your friend and mine, Jeff Beauregard Sessions. Jeff Sessions. Now, as we know, Jeff Sessions is eerily resembles Granny from Hillary. I messed that all up. As we all know, there's no teleprompter. Rewind. As we all know, Jeff Sessions is eerily similar to Granny from Beverly Hillbillies. He's also eerily similar to a rodent. But these things are not. I do not need to spend my time on ad hominem attacks. I would like to just say that Jeff Sessions is bad for the country. He's been bad for the state of Alabama. He's been bad for the country. He's getting worse. Jeff Sessions ends a policy that let legal pot flourish. That's right. That's what he's doing. No, I know a lot of people who were on the fence about Jeff Sessions because whenever you hear someone say, we need to get tough on crime, you imagine your mother walking with some groceries carrying her purse and some thug running up and stealing her purse. I know you imagine that. But the policies that are being implemented and pushed by Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, do not impact that type of crime. What they're doing is asset seizures, forfeitures, okay? What he's behind is restoring mandatory minimums. Even at a time when our criminal justice system is totally overwhelmed and crime is actually down in this country. Jeff Sessions wants to reignite the failed drug war. And now, to add more insult to injury, if this is possible, I didn't even know it was possible to add more insult to injury. To stick more fingers in your eye. Oh, you got a finger in my eye. Well, here comes another finger, America. Here goes another finger. Hey, let's put a foot in his eye. Let's put foot. Let's go ahead and put let's shove random feet and fingers into the eyes of the American people by telling them that, yeah, I know we're on this path. We want to legalize marijuana initially for medicinal purposes, like if you have a condition where marijuana, cannabis could give you more quality of life, could ease your suffering, your pain. I don't know how people make that a difficult decision. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has issued a marijuana enforcement memo rescinding the Obama administration's guidance, which enabled states to legalize marijuana without federal intervention. His one-page memo makes it clear that marijuana possession and distribution is against federal law, and it will direct U.S. attorneys to approach their cases as they do all other cases when enforcing it. What Jeff Sessions is saying is that states' rights don't matter. Give me that boo. Jeff Sessions is saying states' rights don't matter. What matters is the federal government. What matters is what we want to matter. We set the rules, and this is totally contradictory to the campaign that was run by Donald Trump. I sent a tweet out about this last night. And the tweet was funny. It's got over 300 retweets. Keep retweeting that thing. Get that tweet going, guys. Get that tweet going. I want to run for you now a clip of Donald Trump on the campaign trail back in Reno, Nevada, 2015. Right? Let's see if we have that clip. I know we do. Oh, you got to go ahead.
Coffee with Tim Black.
What are you going to do for legalizing marijuana if people are willing to follow all of the rules 100% legally, federally, and
the marijuana thing is such a big thing. I think medical should happen, right? Don't we agree? I mean, I think so. And then I really believe you should leave it up to the states. It should be a state situation. Because, you know, you have, like I just left Colorado, and I love Colorado, and the people are great. But there's a question as to how it's all working out there. You know, that's not going exactly trouble-free. So I really think that we should study Colorado, see what's happening. But I believe that the legalization of marijuana, other than for medical, because I think medical, you know, I know people that are very, very sick, and for whatever reason, the marijuana really helps them. But it really helps them. But I think in terms of marijuana, and legalization, I think that should be a state issue, state by state.
There it is. Give a boo. Give a boo to that. Let's give a boo to that. See, I don't believe that Donald Trump was unaware that Jeff Sessions was going to write this memo. I just don't believe it. I think Jeff Sessions wants to keep his job. So I don't think that this was a surprise to Donald Trump. What is surprising, though, is that Donald Trump ran on being supportive of the legalization of cannabis, as you just heard. This is not some gooey middle liberal trying to stick it to Donald Trump because it'll get me more views. This is not some porcelain progressive suggesting that Donald Trump, oh my God, he's the worst person in the world. No, he's a liar. If he allows his attorney general to roll back these moves. And what does it say for all of those people in all of those states who are now sitting around going, is it okay that we have this marijuana shop? I thought we were going this way. Now it's going this way. Is it okay that I got this little bag of weed now? I thought it was legal in my state. So you mean to tell me the feds can just come in and lock me up for X amount of years? This is a clusterfuck, ladies and gentlemen. So far, 8 states and the District of Columbia have legalized the drug for recreational use. I live very close to Washington, D.C., and I take this personal. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It is now and look, it's important to know that the funding, the money, the District of Columbia has the legalized the drug for recreational use, and it is now helping to fund schools and even law enforcement. Even law enforcement. Folks, when you see a politician, and Jeff Sessions is a politician, Donald Trump, politician. Stop telling me he's not a politician. Look, he even hedged in that clip a little. Like, we don't really know what's going on in Colorado. Some of the stuff's not so good. But we're going to let the states do what the states want to do. A little hedge in there, but then he went back to what he originally stated. But when you see these politicians, these lawmakers, go against the will of the public, because make no mistake about it, most Americans agree that marijuana should be legal, at least for medicinal purposes. And then there's a large group. It's more than split. I think it's like 55% of Americans, something like that, who agree that we should be legalized. And it's helpful to the economies of these states. It's helpful in the formulation, in the funding of schools, as just outlined in this Hill memo. It helps law enforcement. The money can be spent wherever it needs to be spent. Why would you not want a thing that you cannot stop from being manufactured or distributed on the streets? Why would you not want to make that legal? Why would you not want to use that tax revenue for the people of those communities? Why would you want to just keep locking people up? Unless there was an incentive for locking people up. Huh? That's a question we all need to know. Sessions told reporters Thursday that Obama guidance in the Cole memo, which is the memo that Obama created, that wrote, that enabled states to feel confident in going ahead and legalizing marijuana for recreational use. James Cole is the memo author, Deputy Attorney General James Cole. Sessions says it wasn't consistent with the law. So now Jeff Sessions comes in and he has a different take on what the law is. So he's going to roll back the federal conversation. He's going to roll back the improvements that were made. It was interpreted as a safe harbor for individuals, Sessions said. This memo does not have safe harbors in it. He said that the U.S. Attorney should understand that the Attorney General believes marijuana is against federal law, and there should be prosecutions that need to be brought in order to enforce that law. Then they should bring those cases. What Jeff Sessions does not care to know is that this will impact not only Donald Trump, this is going to impact the GOP. Marijuana is here to stay. The claims of its death, its demise, have been greatly exaggerated. The demonization of cannabis, those days are long gone. The average American, though, even if they don't consume marijuana, do not see it as a gateway drug, nor do they see it as the brain-scrambling menace that the 50s era conservatives tried to push into the thoughts and minds of average American citizens. It just ain't working. It's just not working. Go to hell, Jeff Sessions. Go to hell, Jeff Sessions. Now that we talked a lot about Jeff Sessions, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Clinton Foundation. Now, a lot of us who have paid attention to what's been going on with the Clintons for the last, 20 years. We were tipped off the fact that the Clinton Foundation basically did some things that are very questionable. Very, 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 very questionable. And many of us have been well aware that the Clinton Foundation, let's just say, needed to be investigated. I think there was even a point where Bill Clinton said, hey, we're going to shut this thing down if Hillary gets elected because of the conflict of interest. The problem is Bill Clinton and many of us who recognize this, I think we all agree, that, there was a conflict of interest when Hillary was Secretary of State. The conflict of interest did not begin in some fantasy land of Hillary became elected. The fact that she was Secretary of State and this was a vehicle for people to put money into the coffers of the Clinton Foundation. And she had the ability to give them contracts, even a sit down to discuss contracts with the federal government as Secretary of State. This in itself is a conflict of interest. There was a conflict of interest the entire time she was Secretary of State. Well, finally, for those of you who are not so wrapped up into Democrat or Republican, but just want truth, finally, the Justice Department opens a probe on the Clinton Foundation. Yes, finally, a probe on the Clinton Foundation. Federal prosecutors and FBI agents are investigating allegations of potential corruption tied to the Clinton Foundation. This is according to a U.S. law enforcement official. The probe is focused on whether donors to the foundation, a charity tied to Bill and Hillary Clinton, got preferential treatment for Mrs. Clinton while she served as Secretary of State during President Barack Obama's first term. It isn't clear how long the Justice Department and Federal Bureau of Investigation have been investigating the matter, though the current work appears to be an extension of earlier probes. The disclosure of the inquiry comes as President Trump has berated the Justice Department and the FBI for not investigating his political rival in the 2016 presidential elections, Crooked Hillary. That's what he kept calling her. Now, we know Trump was, in my opinion, trying to win a race and also trying to destroy his competition when he coined that phrase. And it caught on because, hell, even I use it at times. I don't have it here now, do I? Look at Hillary, ladies and gentlemen. But the funniest jokes always have a grain of truth in them, don't they? I think a lot of you agree. Let me keep going. The Justice Department spokesman, Sarah Isger Flores, declined to comment. A spokesman for the Clinton Foundation dismissed the allegations and the investigation. Time after time, the Clinton Foundation has been subjected to politically motivated allegations. And time after time, these allegations have been proven false. None of this has made us waver in our mission to help people, the spokesman Craig Minassian said in a statement. Okay. I expected anyone tied to the Clinton Foundation to deny all allegations. That's what they do. They deny stuff. But here's the fact. Here's the thing. Very simple to prove. All they have to do is look at people who donated to the Clinton Foundation and look if they had meetings with Hillary Clinton. How hard can that be? How difficult can that be? And what was the outcome of those meetings? And to put a finer point on it, then they go back. They take a look at if any of those people, any of those organizations, any of those people, the organizations they represent, the countries they represent, did they meet with Hillary prior? And what was the outcome of that conversation? See, we need to see if cash rules everything around me. I know Wu-Tang said it. I know they said it. It was a true statement then. I believe it's a true statement now. Who are these people that believe that cash doesn't have an impact on the decisions that lawmakers make? And in this case, the Secretary of State. It's not enough to say the Clinton Foundation did good work. First of all, I don't know if they did such great work. I don't know. That Haiti work wasn't so great. I don't think that Haiti work was phenomenal at all. In fact, I believe that Haiti work was the opposite of amazing. It's very unamazing. Treacherous even. So the Clinton Foundation being probed. And look, this is your telltale. Here's a telltale. I love these telltale type stories. Telltale story. You're going to see. Look, here's a litmus test for media. For media. Because we're all in it for truth, right? I'm not the only person out here who's in it for truth. Let's see. Let's see who gives the Clinton Foundation probe the attention it requires and who gives the Russian probe, which has been ongoing now for over 18 months, the attention it requires. If they could do both, it's possible maybe, hey, they're out there for truth. But if they dismiss the Clinton Foundation probe, or worse, refuse to even look at it, even talk about it, even utter the word Clinton, I don't want to say Clinton Foundation. Like if they look, I got a feeling, there's gonna be so many of these people in media who are afraid. And I don't just mean regular afraid. I mean being trapped in a room with a bunch of mistreated, hungry pit bulls. They are that kind of afraid. They are super afraid. I ain't talking about something under your bed. I'm talking about something that's in their head. They don't want to go against the Clinton Foundation. I just want you to pay attention. Just pay attention. That's all. I think this is long overdue. Now, Jared Beck, one of the lead attorneys on the DNC fraud lawsuit, which sought, not seeked him. That's that guy I used to work with, tall guy. He was a Sikh, Tim. He sought. Jared Beck sought, one of the lead attorneys that was seeking that the DNC be held accountable for its fraudulent activity during the 2016 campaign, during the primary. 2016 primary, the Democratic primary. You know, where they could go in smoke-filled rooms and pick their own nominee. Well, Jared Beck brought up a point I think was very important. And this is the reason why he's attorney. It's the reason why people should pay attention. Jared Beck says one of the reasons why we've been pushing so hard for a Clinton Foundation investigation is that the statute of limitations on felonies for government officials is 5 years. Hillary Clinton left the Secretary of State in early 2013. So that would mean, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't got to be a mathematician. You didn't always have to get A's in algebra, geometry, and trigonometry to count from 2013 to 2018. That means there's a very small window. Oh, a tiny window. We're talking a pinhole, ladies and gentlemen. There is a pinhole of an opportunity if they're going to be charges brought against the Clinton Foundation and in regard Clinton and Hillary. It would have to be now, and it would have to be fast. We're talking Usain Bolt fast. Fast. And I need to cheer for it, nor boo-hoo it. I just want truth. And I think no one should be above the law, not even the Clintons. Yep. Of course, many will disagree with me. They will disagree because their horse is tied. Their horse is tied to the Clintons. They rise and fall along with Hillary. If you rise and fall with someone, of course, you're going to clap, cheer when they want you to cheer, and you're going to sneer when they want you to sneer. This is not new. Just because these people are grown-ass people does not mean they ain't hitching their wagons or something else. All of them do. Last but not least, you've heard a lot of talk about the Trump expose, the Richard Wolff. Why I keep saying Richard Wolff? The Michael Wolff. The Michael Wolff book, Fire and Fury, which outlines the Trump campaign, the inner workings of the Trump White House. Now, Michael Wolff, a journalist, he was given access to members of the Trump campaign. He sat down, he had conversations. Some question the validity of his statements. But what I've been noticing, and I want to put this out here, I've been noticing if you cut on certain channels, if you look at certain media, this is everything in the world. This is, oh my God, this is great. People line dancing. Yay, Michael Wolff, fire and fury. They, you know, having a great time, man. They toasting and popping bottles. I thought Drake was performing. These people are getting it in. They're happy as hell. Why are you so happy? Why are you jumping up and down? This is great, but why are you where's the Michael Wolff book came out? This is going to destroy Trump. This is great. Hey. And then you look over here at the conservative the media, the libertarians, I don't know these people. I don't know. I don't want to put everybody in boxes. I'm just saying, this is another group of people. Some of them wear jackets, no shirts. Some of them, I don't know. Anyway, these people over here, they act like this is nothing. This is garbage. This book is all garbage. And I just find it amazing. I need to think it's going to save the world nor end it. But I think it's interesting, and I think it needs to be talked about. So, so I'm going to talk about it. Also, I would like to point out, before I get to the 14 wildest claims in the new book, Fire and Fury, I'd like to point out the contrasting difference between Donna Brazil's book, which was an expose on the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign, and the Michael Wolff book, which was an expose on Donald Trump. Notice a little difference in the treatment of Michael Wolff as compared to Donna Brazil. They call Donna Brazil kooky. Kooky. She's crazy. Now, it's not if you like Donna Brazil, if you want to invite her over for a glass of wine, if you want to hang out with her and cook gumbo and put some andouille sausage in it, or you put turkey sausage, or if you put... No. It's not about that. It's not about if you think Donna Brazil is too sassy for her own damn good. No, it's not about that. Doesn't matter if you think she ran around the ring, that she had more word salad than a Benihana. No, it's not. Than a Benihana sushi salad. They got sushi salad. It's not about that. The truth is, my point is this, very simple. Michael Wolff is being praised for exposing XYZ, and he's doing it all secondhand. Donna Brazil gave us information straight from the horse's mouth. And they shitted on her. I saw Michael Wolff on CNN last night. They rolled out the red carpet for him because it suits their what? What does it suit? Come on, guys. It suits their agenda. All right, so let's keep going. Let me go to a clip, guys. I've talked a lot. Let me go to a clip.
Coffee.
What are you going to do?
With Tim Black.
Let's go to a clip. One of the things that was pointed out in the Michael Wolff expose on Donald Trump is that they felt that Donald Trump is mentally unfit. Here goes Sarah Huckabee Sanders responding to these allegations.
Jordan.
What's the president's reaction to the growing number of suggestions, both in this book and in the media, that he's mentally unfit to serve as president?
The same way we have when it's been asked before, that it's disgraceful and laughable. If he was unfit, he probably wouldn't be sitting there and wouldn't have defeated the most qualified group of candidates the Republican Party has ever seen. This is an incredibly strong and good leader. That's why we've had such a successful 2017 and why we're going to continue to do great things as we move forward in this administration.
All right. That is what they are saying. That is what Sarah Huckabee says. That, hey, if he's so crazy, how'd he win? If Donald Trump is such a crazy lunatic, how'd he beat all these Republicans? Do tell. Something called a Pied Piper strategy that was employed by the liberal media, which boosted and gave undue amounts of coverage to Donald Trump at the expense of all other candidates. This mechanism allowed Donald Trump to rise in notoriety, and he was already a very notable figure on the landscape. That's how. But I get her point. I do get her point. I don't know if that means that you can't be crazy. You can be crazy. In fact, you could be a psychopath. Psychopaths, some of them have families, wives and kids that they don't kill. And they go out and they kill other people's kids and wives and blow up stuff. Well, how was he able to do that? He had a family. It was crazy people sometimes can compartmentalize their crazy shit. They can. Winning something like an election or winning something when you got a lot of people voting does not not in our system. No, not in our system. No one said he was stupid, though I know a lot of people say he's stupid. I think these are, people just don't like him. You know, people that don't like Donald Trump will never give him a fair shake. And I don't mean give him a fair shake because he deserves a fair shake. But what I mean is be reasonable and logical in how you process information. That's all I mean. And I'll probably get hammered for that. All right. Let's go on to the 14 wildest claims in the new book, Fire and Fury. Now, this opens. Now, who wrote this article? I got this off Yahoo. So, The Telegraph. Okay. Donald Trump was horrified by his election win. His wife, Melania, was in tears, and his friends believe he is crazy, according to an explosive new book. The embarrassing claims are made in Fire and Fury inside the Trump White House, written by journalist Michael Wolff and based on 200 interviews with Mr. Trump, his inner circle, and other key players. The book is not released until next week, but an article by the author published online on Wednesday revealed claims made in the book that are deeply embarrassing for the president. One of the book's key sources appears to be Steve Bannon. So what is one of the claims? Well, The Telegraph, because I think it's a British media outlet, media source. They start off with Tony Blair. Tony Blair told Trump the British were spying on him. Tony Blair warned Donald Trump aides that British intelligence agencies could have spied on them during the election campaign. This was claimed in the book. The former prime minister shared the juicy rumor with Jared Kushner, Mr. Trump's son-in-law, when the pair met last February and angled for a Middle East role, according to journalist Michael Wolff's book. Mr. Blair suggested the British had the Trump campaign staff under surveillance, monitoring his telephone calls and other communications, and possibly even Trump himself. Boom! Boom! I'm gonna tell you, that's do I got a boom? I thought I had a boom over here. Did I get rid of the boom? There it is, man. That's a big deal. So you mean to tell me it's possible the British intelligence was doing what we say the Russians were doing? Okay. Oh, so now we're going to make Britain? We're going to make them the boogeyman too? Come on. Because it's not standard practice to listen or to put bots in the internet. That's not standard in our cyber war, which is the era that we now live in. But anyway, I'll go on to number two. Number two. Now, this is big for a lot of people. I know this is like, wow. Trump never wanted to be president. Mr. Trump's wife, Melania, was in tears when he won the election, and Mr. Trump looked like he had seen a ghost because they expected a defeat, the piece in the New York Magazine said. Mr. Bannon is quoted saying he observed the then candidate morphing into a disbelieving Trump and then into a horrified Trump on election night. Mr. Trump reportedly never expected victory and was considering launching his own TV network or channel after defeat, while key members of his campaign team were already interviewing for new jobs. Mr. Trump's communications director, Stephanie Grissom, hit out at the claims in a statement from the White House. She said the book is clearly going to be sold in the bargain fiction section. Mrs. Trump supported her husband's decision to run for president and, in fact, encouraged him to do so. She was confident he would win and was very happy when he did. I tend to believe that Trump didn't think he was going to win. I tend to believe that. Yeah, I believe that. I believe it. I tend to believe that a businessman of Trump's ilk, the last thing he want to do is be tied to some desk job where he got to like listen to people and be places at certain times, can't control his own schedule to a certain degree, has to be briefed every day. There's a lot of BS paper pushing work being president. And I never thought that Trump, I never understood why he wanted to do it. I never thought he was a champion for the people. I know people say, oh, he's a champion for the people. He gonna work for us. And I'm like, nah. No, it's not. You need to stop smoking meth. No, seriously though, I believe that Donald Trump, he ended up in this situation, trying to expand his business, trying to grow his brand to a level that was, just a level that no one else has ever done, and Donald Trump accidentally won the presidency in the process. Oh my God. That's what I believe. You let me know what you think. Okay, number 3. It's taking too long. Number 3, the secret to Trump's hair. Just for men. Wow. Well, the secret to Tim Black's beard. Just for men. Come on, man. That's number 3, motherfucker. That can't be number 3. Hell is wrong with you, Telegram? What's number 4? Trump likes sushi. Motherfucker. Come on, man. We got to do better. All right. I ain't even going to edit it. Number 4, Trump's friends and key advisors called him crazy. Okay. A number of the president's key staff are quoted questioning Mr. Trump's intelligence. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus reportedly labeled Mr. Trump an idiot, while Mr. Trump's Chief Economic Advisor Gary Cohn said he was dumb as shit. They didn't just say he was dumb, they said he was dumb as shit. Lord, what else did they say? God, we had fun on this show. I had fun doing this show. Thank God for this show. I like this.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
And his National Security Advisor, H.R. McMaster, described him as a dope. A dope. This is interesting stuff. All the Trump supporters are over there mad. Get you, Tim Black. Go to hell, Tim Black. Son of a God. You're no longer speaking truth to power, Tim Black. Why is that? Because you're slamming Trump. All right. Goodness gracious. All right, so anyway. That billionaire Thomas Berg, who was one of Trump's closest and oldest friends, is quoted in the book allegedly telling a friend of the president, he's not only crazy, wait for it, he's stupid. God damn.
Called super predators. We have to bring them to heel.
That's what Trump's he want to take a page out of Hillary's book right now. He's like,
we have to bring them to heel.
We got to bring them to heel. Talking that stuff about me. Mr. Barack has since denied making those claims to a New York Times reporter describing the quote as totally false. Or in other words, what you trying to do? Get me killed, motherfuckers? All right. Number 5, Ivanka Trump wants to be president. Oh, no. No, you don't. Well, you know what? It's okay to want stuff, Ivanka. You know, I want stuff. You know, I want a studio. Real one. I want people to, stop trying to stab me in the damn back all the time. There are things I want. Peace in Yemen. A Tim Blackmobile to tour the country. Talk to people. Real people. Not politicians. These are things I want. So you can want whatever you want, Ivanka. Now, will it happen? The book claims Ivanka Trump entertained the idea that she would one day run for the White House and become the country's first woman president. Aha! The plan was to stop Hillary in order to let Ivanka become president. Oh, son of a bitch. In an extract published in the New York Magazine, Mr. Wolf writes that Miss Trump and her husband, Jared Kushner, made an agreement between themselves that if the opportunity arose for one of them to run for president, it would be Ivanka. It would be Ivanka running for president. Give it up for that. Give it up for that. Hey. Doesn't mean I vote for her, but I believe anybody should be able to run. Anybody should be able to run in this country for anything they want to run for. I believe that. I support that. I do not have any bias towards anybody running for office. Let's keep it going, guys. This is taking too long. Some of this stuff is just stupid. Number 6, Trump sits in bed with cheeseburgers. There's a lot of shit overweight dudes like Trump and I need at night. One of those things is not cheeseburgers. Don't need cheeseburgers. But I think, if I remember, this was interesting, the reason why. Mr. Trump is said to have banned people from touching his toothbrush and would strip the bed sheets himself after entering the White House for fear of germs. The book also claims Mr. Trump sleeps in a separate bedroom from his wife, had 2 extra televisions installed there, and is known to be in bed with a cheeseburger from 6:30 p.m. I gotta say it. Who gives a shit? I can't think of a single solitary person that gives a shit. No, I can't think of anybody that gives a damn what he eats at night, man. If you are the president, or if you're the king of your own house, if you're the king of your bedroom, if you're the king of your room, if you got a few dollars, you should be able to have whatever you want at night, no matter if it's good for you or not. It's up to you. You want to have a cheeseburger? Have a cheeseburger, man. How is that number 6, man? That means number 7 through 14 must suck. Trump admires, number 7, Trump admires Rupert Murdoch. Trump admires Rupert Murdoch. Mr. Wolf, who has previously written a biography of Rupert Murdoch, described an incident at a post-election party which the media mogul was due to attend. He wrote Rupert Murdoch, who had been promised to pay a call on the president-elect, was running late. When some of the guests made a move to leave, an increasingly agitated Trump assumed or assured them that Rupert was on his way. He's one of the guests, the last of the greats. You have to stay to see him. Not grasping that he was not the most powerful man in the world, Trump was still trying mightily to curry favor with the media mogul who had long disdained him as a Christian, a charlatan, and a fool. And a fool. Okay. Number 8. I don't really have an opinion about that. Just because Trump president don't mean he can't admire people. Admire people for different stuff. I admire, I admire the guy who wrote The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I admire him. I admire J. Cole. Rap his ass off. I admire, a lot of people. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, that was against the law to admire people. Let's keep going. Murdoch called Trump an idiot. It's number 8. Murdoch called Trump an idiot. Okay. During a phone call with the president, Murdoch is said to have warned him that taking a liberal approach to H-1B visas would appear to contradict his anti-immigration policies and his promises to build a border wall with Mexico. Mr. Trump is said to have been concerned with Mr. Murdoch's comments, telling him he would figure it out, leading the media mogul to describing as a effing idiot as he got off the phone. Damn. Boy, this Michael Wolff, man. This guy's... So you telling me, Wolf, where'd you get this information from? Did Rupert Murdoch tell you that he called Trump an effing idiot when he got off the phone with him? Or did someone else tell you this? Do tell. Do tell. My sensationalist friend. Number 9, Trump had to be taught about the Constitution. A former Trump campaign aide, Sam Nunberg, is quoted in the book saying he had to teach Mr. Trump basic details about the Constitution. I got as far as the Fourth Amendment before his finger is pulling down on his lip and his eyes are rolling in the back of his head. Mr. Nunberg has said. Number 10, Trump hasn't heard of key political figures. I believe that. I believe Trump don't know a lot of these people. Like, who? Who are these people? I don't pay attention to these people. Just give him money and get my shit done. I need to build this thing. I don't care about who his name is. Time to meet these bastards. I know, like, Trump knows Blasio, Clinton, Cuomo, New York-centered people. Yeah, he ain't give a hell. The book tells of a scene between Mr. Trump and Roger Ailes, the former chairman of the Fox News, who reportedly recommended former House of Representatives Speaker John Boehner as a candidate for the president's chief of staff. Mr. Trump is alleged to have responded to the suggesting by asking, "Who's that? Who's that? I don't know John Boehner. Boehner. I don't know him." Yeah, I heard people talking about this. F John Boehner. Who cares? All right. Hey, man. These guys, they're political hacks. Trump, now, yeah, he's the president by accident. The accidental president. That's a good one. The accidental president. I love that. Hey, guys, we're going to call Trump the accidental president. Number 11, Hope Hicks dated Mary campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Hope Hicks. Both Hope and Corey are hoes. That's right, both of them, and not just one of them. All right. White House Communications Director Hope Hicks reportedly had an on and off relationship with Corey Lewandowski, who was Trump's first campaign manager, the book claims. Mr. Lewandowski, who was married, was fired by the then president-elect in June 2016, and Ms. Hicks was reportedly upset about the media coverage. Trump, number 12, let's keep it going. Trump called female acting attorney general Trump called female acting attorney general a cunt. That's Bill Burr's word. Mr. Trump was reportedly furious with the acting attorney general, Sally Yates, when she refused to enforce his immigration ban, calling her such a cunt for blocking his request. Okay, so guys, like, some of this stuff, I don't know if it's true or not, right? But so what? You can't call somebody a name when they can't even hear you? Do you know the names I've called people who can't hear me calling them those names? And people have called me names just because I didn't hear them. I don't care, right? I know some. Come on, man. There's people who hate. Look, you got a combination of hate, jealousy, competition, survival, thinking that they're better. I'm just better. Look at me. Why don't I have? As if other people, so like people say stuff and people have bad days. They get cut off in traffic. Their boss treats them like crap. They got a problem with their kids, or they got a problem with the wife, or a problem with the husband, or a problem with the weather. People say stuff. Why is this? They're making this a big issue. Number 13, 9 law firms refuse to represent Trump. Law firms refuse to take his money. I guess they were concerned with the repercussions of defending Donald Trump, representing Donald Trump, and what that could mean to their business. We saw what happened to that little organization of CEOs he put together. They had to leave because it was hurting their brand and their businesses, which employ lots of people and their bottom lines by being associated with Donald Trump. Look what has happened to every major celebrity who's come out like, I like Trump. They're like, bam! And they're like, I don't like Trump. I'm sorry I ever said anything about Trump. I mean, the only people that support Donald Trump openly are Kid Rock and them two Humpty girls on Twitter, the Trump girls. Like, who else, man? Who else? I mean, I know. I'm just saying. I know there's lots of people, but I'm saying, guys. People have stuff to lose. They don't want to lose it. If you have nothing to lose, and like the Trump girls, you just look for a paycheck. I stumped for Trump. I stumped for Trump. We don't have talent. And number 14, Trump can't recognize old friends. God damn. Oh, God. It said Trump can't recognize old friends. Mr. Wolf portrays the president as an aging man who repeats stories and quotes some of Mr. Trump's closest allies. Describe the president as incapable of functioning. Incapable of functioning in his job. He describes a scene at Mr. Trump's Florida Mar-a-Lago resort just before the new year, saying, a heavily made-up Trump failed to recognize a succession of old friends. A succession of old friends. Well, Trump's sitting there drooling into his tie like, watching these old billionaires wallow past him. Like, who's that bastard? Who's that? I don't... Maybe he tried to act like he didn't know him. Like a rapper does. Like rapper act like he don't know who you are. Like, who's that? Who is that? I don't know. Hey, he said some bad things about you. I have no idea who you're talking about. You know him? No, I don't. Like, that's a thing. That's a thing in the community. We do that. I'm doing it right now to somebody. Like, did you hear what this person said? No, I have no idea. Continue. Last line. Mr. Wolf writes, it used to be inside of 30 minutes, he'd repeat word for word and expression for expression the same 3 stories. Now, it's within 10 minutes. So you mean to tell me Trump is sitting in the White House going, man, you remember the time I took the, we took the A train down to the, the chicken and waffle spot. Remember that time? And then the panhandler came up. Then 5 minutes later, he's like, but I remember the time we went to the chicken and waffle place. We took the A train and with the homeless man. You sitting there like, this Groundhog's Day. This is bad. This is bad. Is it true? I don't know if it's true. I know it's bad. All right. Lord have mercy. Guys, for the record, this show is not brought to you, obviously, by the GOP. It's also not brought to you by the DNC or anything else with an acronym. This show is brought to you by people like you who kind of just want the truth. And they would like their news delivered to them in a refreshing way. A way that does not make them go to sleep. And that has the touch of sincerity that real people admire. We like it kept real here on this show. If you would like to be a part of that, please go to Patreon, become a member. Patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, or you hit me up on PayPal. Or hell, you can join my Tim Black Wolfpack any number of ways. And we even take Bitcoin. So become a member of the Tim Black Show. We do a lot of content. It's been a very slow, hard turn as we move into 2018, and we're trying to pivot and do some exciting, dynamic things. Be a part of it today. Yeah. Also, I have the greatest book on Amazon right now. It's called Woke. 5 Things Smart People Wish Hillary Supporters Knew. Go get that book. Why would you get that book? You would get that book because you were tired of people telling you that Hillary Clinton was robbed. You're tired of people telling you Hillary was the best thing since sliced bread. You are tired of hearing the false narratives about Hillary Clinton. After reading this book, you will come to a conclusion. I believe you will come to the conclusion that not only was it very possible that Hillary Clinton would lose the 2016 election, but it was often, in a way, kind of ordained. It was sort of like in the tea leaves. You could see it if you looked at this book. If you knew this book, if you would have read this book, if I had put it out before the election and you read this book, you would not be surprised that Hillary lost, that people knew this stuff, that I know this stuff. Now you will know this stuff. Go to Amazon. It's the book, once again, is titled Woke. 5 Things Smart People Wish Hillary Supporters Knew. Pick it up today. And now to a little something, another segment I like to call
Coffee.
What's the president's reaction to the growing number of suggestions?
With Tim Black.
Boo, boo, boo. One-liners. That's right. One-liners with Tim Black. Let's get to these one-liners. Family of swatting victim wants officers charged in the swatting incident that occurred in Kansas, which resulted in the death of Andrew Finch. Andrew Finch was shot after a prankster called 911 with a fake story about a shooting and kidnapping at Finch's Wichita residence. Now, swatting is the idea of calling the SWAT to someone's home that you have beef with. In this case, when the police arrived, the young Mr. Finch answered the door and he was shot by police. The prankster who called in the call has called in swattings on many others online. This is a horrible thing. Lisa Finch, the mother of Andrew Finch, the deceased, want justice. And they want the cops, not only this prankster, but the cops or the officers who shot her son to be held accountable. Number 2, Mark Zuckerberg, Zucks. He says Facebook is going to get involved or start utilizing cryptocurrency. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says he will research cryptocurrencies in 2018. The goal is part of the yearly personal challenge, which is mainly focused on fixing Facebook's problems. The head of Facebook Messenger is joining board of the cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase. So I expect, if this is true, I expect there to be an uptick cryptocurrency. And number 3, Biden looks like he may be the new kid in town as far as the Democratic Party is concerned. They may be pushing him for a 2020 election run. But many people have this thing that may prevent him from running or being successful, and it's called a memory. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's called a memory. Some would call it lack of amnesia. And they remember a Joe Biden not too long ago kneecapping the hell out of Anita Hill. And with the uptick of the Me Too movement, which focuses on sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, Joe Biden may not be able to slide into the nomination role for the Democratic Party. Biden regrets his Anita Hill role. He has not contacted her and given her his apology. And maybe he should. Old average Joe, old boxcar Joe, old Rust Belt Joe, old fake Joe. That's all we got for today's one-liners. I'm your host, Tim Black. Thank you for being here. Tonight is Freedom Friday. You call in, you get 5 minutes to talk about whatever issue that you think needs more spotlight, or maybe you just like to call up and say, hey, Tim Black, this is how I feel about the world, and this is how I feel about your show, or whatever you want to do. Call up tonight. Freedom Friday, it will be going down 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook. So be there. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you for tuning in again. The first Friday, The first Friday of 2018, and no place I'd rather spend it than with you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you, all my Patreons, my partner in crime, my graphic designer, aficionado, Momo Pineno, and all my moderators out there who hold it down for me. I'll see you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Much love to you. And for the record, it is cold. So wrap up, be safe, and keep the faith. Peace. Yeah, people.
Coffee with Tim Black.